on. Okay, everyone. Well, the recording is going, and welcome to 4 Big Reasons Why Agents Fail. And actually, this is interesting. I was trying to think a week ago, what should I do for this Wednesday's webinar? And I thought, I was having to read that the average earnings of an NAR member, and you can just Google NAR on the NAR website. I believe it went down year to year from like roughly 45,000 to like 38 something. I mean, you got to think about this, guys. 45 to 38. I mean, what is this? It goes down like 12%, and in a really, really good market. So I got thinking, what is it? What could it be that's causing that to happen? Well, I believe that it's 2 things. Number one is the thing I teach, these non-traditional models. They're really beginning to take hold, and you've got to be feeling the pressure on commissions out there, and the pressure coming from these innovative, creative, non-traditional models like Hauser, H-O-U-W-Z-E-R, the 0% commission company that's just exploding in Philadelphia, or started by Mike Mayer, 0% list side commission, making their money, and I've talked about this in a previous webinar, on the 3% side. If you control the inventory, you can do anything, and they are making a play to control the inventory in Philadelphia. And I know they're doing well because they had ads out the other day. I'm on their mailing list looking to hire more staff to cover all their business. Or Golden Key, that offers this menu, the bottom line menu of fixed fee options, saving people, tons of money on both the buy and the list side. Or Really, R-E-A-L-I, I believe that's the one that just charges $2,950. Like, buyers buy through them and get the entire commission rebated back except for $2,950. Now, I'm only pointing out to you that that's one reason commissions are being squeezed down, and that their agents' incomes have dropped. And the other reason is agents are getting lousy training. I mean, just got to tell you, there are a lot of good coaches out there, but there are a lot of coaches, and I'm just going to say it, who are not teaching what needs to be taught. Basically what I'm seeing is the same old stuff, just repackaged, that's been taught for 10 or 15 or 20 years. And then also, if hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people are learning the same techniques, the same stuff, I mean, even if it's good, it's not, because nobody's differentiating. I mean, if you're with a big firm and you're sitting in big classrooms, and you're learning the same thing everybody else is, how do you build a business that sets you apart if it's just like thousands of people all doing the same thing? So I'll just say that I believe is a huge problem. And then, so I thought what I would do, bottom line for today's webinar, and is to simply go through the 4 biggies, 4 big things. It's not like you couldn't do a lot of other things, but I thought I'd just nail it and just get it down to the 4 big things that if you focused on just these, you'd be successful. If you focused on just these, you wouldn't be earning $45,000 a year. You'd be earning $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 a year if you work 45-hour weeks. So here we go. We're just going to blast through these things. It's going to be just like, bam, rapid fire webinar. I'm catching a plane to Washington, D.C. Today. I'm speaking Thursday and Friday. By the way, any of you on the East Coast, if you happen to be on the East Coast in the Virginia, Maryland area, in the DC area, I'm speaking Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon, and you're welcome to come. Anybody who attends my webinars or is my coaching is always welcome to attend my events. So just email Jen, J-E-N-N, at realestatemavericks.com, or Mandy, who's on today listening. Jen's traveling today, and they can tell you where I'm speaking. But Jen's actually going to be there with me. She'd be the easier one to tell you. And it's speaking, I think, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon both days. Okay, here we go. 4 big reasons agents fail. So first, no product to sell. No product to sell. Now, what do I mean by no product to sell? Well, you are not a product. Selling yourself, you are not a product. Your goal should be to sell your home selling process. The combination of your home selling process with however you price it, creatively price it, that is your product. And when I first got in the business, I was brand new in the business, and I've told this story a lot, so I'll only tell it here in a minute or minute and a half. I struggled like everyone else when I was brand new in the business, and I couldn't get listings. And it makes sense. How do you get listings when you're brand new in the business in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you're competing against all these big name agents? Well, I finally, after getting turned down, shot down, I came up with this program, Make Every Agent Your Listing Agent. And what that was essentially is I went into the next home seller I had an appointment with, and I was just every day calling by owners, calling expireds, doing all the things, marketing, anything you could do to get an appointment. And I got an appointment, and I pointed out to this home seller, hey, how would you like it if you listed with me that I will make every agent in Cincinnati, all these big name agents, the other ones you're considering, I'll make them your listing agents. So you have everybody. You don't just have one. They always say, well, what do you mean? And I said, I'll co-broke my entire commission. We'll use 6% as an example. It was actually 7% back then. So I said, I'll just co-broke the entire 6%. So everybody out there in Cincinnati, any agent out there, will have double the incentive to sell your home. It will be just like it's their own listing, and I'll even give them permission to advertise it. Well, that was a program. You see, and all of a sudden, that's what I mean by a product. I had a product, which means the focus went off of me and onto my product. Like if you go to a car dealership, your focus isn't on the car's salesperson. Your focus is on the car, the Mercedes, the Lexus, the Ford, the whatever it is. That's where your focus is. So that's what I mean by one of the big reasons agents fail is they go in and their big focus is on selling themselves, how long they've been in the business, how amazing their company is, all this stuff, rather than their product, saying that I have the Mercedes of real estate, and let me explain to you, while everybody else is out there selling or driving a Ford, I have the Mercedes of products to do what? Get your home sold. That's what the product always is about, getting their home sold, even combined with an innovative fee structure. That is your number one thing that you need to do. And you know, also my 990 program is how I built a 121 office real estate firm. I mean, you got to think about this simple program. If you go, you know, I have 990 now trademarked nationally. Just Google 990 sells homes, 990 opportunity, all this, agents all over the country. What a simple program. We did the normal real estate, guys, normal. I mean, list a home, 6%, you know, all those years, 6%, and the listing contract, exclusive right to sell, full MLS, all that stuff. So it was a normal thing, but our product was our 990 opportunity. We, by the way, would say to home sellers, we'll give you the opportunity to hold your own home open. If you happen to find a buyer who's not working with a realtor, then instead of charging you 6%, we'll charge you $990. And so we were willing to do some $990 sales in order to be able to take a gazillion more listings than we otherwise would, get all the buyers off of those, and sell a lot of those, majority of those, at the normal percentage commission, because most buyers don't come through an open house alone and end up buying that property, which was the only way the seller got $990. A lot of sellers did get $990, totally good program. And when they did, no problem. We didn't even mind. Those were listings we would have never had. So we took a photo of ourselves with the sellers, I would with me, and then the agents I hired, and we built this 4,000 agent company that said, hey, Greg Hague sold my home in 38 days and I saved $27,000 with his $990 commission. I mean, so I pushed that out into the market. I'm not telling you to do it or don't do it. I'm just telling you I had a product and I made a fortune, absolute fortune, and built this company around having a product, having a differentiator that other agents didn't have. And then when I decided to go into the luxury home market, the same thing. I ended up with over a 40% share. I mean, I'd never been in the luxury home market. I'd been in the normal price market. But there's this really amazing area called Paradise Valley here in Arizona, about 5,500 homes. Average price range, $1.5 million, $2.5 million, $3 million. They go up to 10, 15 million bucks. But typical $2, $3, $4 million, a lot, maybe is $1 million. And so I came up with this program. It was called the Private Home Marketing Plan. It involved no sign, no MLS, private marketing, because I felt like people who owned high buck homes really didn't like the normal drill, the signs in their front yard. I knew they hated that. the throwing it in MLS, the typical open houses, all that kind of thing. So I came up with this really cool product. And 2 years after I start this company, I have over a 40% market share, and I'm ranked. My team, my little 11-person team, get this, guys, we're ranked by Realtor Magazine number 26 in the nation. Number 26 in the nation. Why? Because we're such amazing salespeople. We're good salespeople, but that wasn't it. Because we had this product. It was our flagship thing. So that's what I mean about having a product, and that, I believe, is the number one big mistake real estate agents make. Number two big mistake is no message to market. I can't tell it. I don't get this. How is it that you see business cards? I see hundreds of real estate agents' business cards. Normally, they're just like the agent's name and their photo, and I've been in the business 194 years, and I'm with the best company in the world. Oh yeah, everybody says it, so nobody believes it, and all this stuff. I mean, I do not understand why agents, when they market, you see all these ads and all this stuff, why don't you have some amazing message that when people see it, they'll say to you, gosh, can you tell me more about that? So let me give you some examples here of that. Like, want to sell your home for 5% more than it's worth? Talk with me first. I mean, what if you put that in all your ads? Sell your home for 5% more than it's worth. Talk with me first. You hand that to people in cards. You have it on door hangers, flyers, whatever. I mean, how are people not going to say, how do you do that? How do you sell homes for 5% more than they're worth? And then you tell them. You would talk, maybe you're using the home selling, one of the home selling processes I teach, like the pre-marketing, the 29-day pre-marketing plan. And you talk about how you can't guarantee exactly 5%, but you would point out to a home seller, if I build anticipation, build excitement, do like what Apple does, really get people and have it not an MLS, no sign, not tracking days on the market, so that I increase the probability your home will sell faster and at a higher price. Don't you think that there's a reasonable chance that if your home's, maybe around 300,000, that we get $10,000, $15,000 more for it, which is roughly 5%, $15,000. If we get an early on sale with no days on the market, et cetera. Because I'll tell you this, you say, if this thing tracks days on the market and it's on for, in this really hot market in that price range, if it's on for even 30, 45 days and hasn't sold, no chance that you're going to get top dollar, and you'll definitely take a 5% hit. So my point is, that's how you justify that kind of a compelling message, but using this pre-marketing and selling people on the 5% power of pre-marketing, whether you use my 29-day plan, the 11-day plan, or your own plan. That's not really the point, guys. And of course, here's another one just like that, same kind of thing, adding 29 days into the mix. Another one is the 990, using like the 990 thing that we've used for years and I teach. Sell your home with complete full service and a commission as low as 990. Learn how, talk with me first. My point is, each of you should come up with a compelling message, something. There's hundreds of these. They take time. It's got to be, you spend time doing this. You just don't come up with something out of the blue, but you come up with some message that relates to your product. So you have this product, you come up with some message that is sticky, that makes people want to know more, that ask you about your product. And that's the whole point. And that's the second thing where agents really, really mess up. They just don't have a compelling message that they put everywhere their name appears professionally, on their cards, in their ads, everything else. They need to have this. A compelling message will turn your business cards into business magnets and make your ads generate at least 3 times better results. I got to tell you that. And they did a whole webinar just on that. The next thing, no customer avatar. This is really, really important. No customer avatar. I did a Voxer, one of my audios on this, the idea of marketing to college graduates who are living with their parents, can't find a job, can't find a girl, and can't even afford to go out on a date. Okay, how do you market to those people? Why would you even want to market to those people? Well, the point is not that, maybe you don't, but the idea is what I call sliver marketing. And the best way I could illustrate that is, many years ago, I was getting on a plane in Aspen. I was at a roundtable meeting, and one of the fellow roundtable members, really cool guy, his name is Bill Bartman, and you can look him up. Bill Bartman, he sponsored the Bartman bill in Congress. He is in the debt collection industry, but he he does it in a way different from other debt collection companies that go after and hammer on people. His team of people up there, they try to call people, find out what their problems are when he buys this defaulted debt from Wells Fargo and other credit card companies, and he buys it at 10 or 12 cents on the dollar. Then he tries to help people. His company, he's got hundreds of people now, I think. They try to help people find jobs and do this so that they could, rather than haranguing on them, to try to help them pay the debt that they defaulted on. And his debt collection ratios, I understand, are off the chart good. So Bill, I tell you the story because Bill is such an amazingly smart guy. So we were waiting to get on the plane. We were leaving Aspen at a roundtable meeting we'd been at. And Bill, we were talking about my personal development speaking. I do a lot of speaking in the personal development world on a subject called smartsmanship. It's a trademark term of mine, and it stands for one-sentence rules that help you make better decisions, fewer mistakes, and know what to do when others don't have a clue. And I love doing personal development talks. And actually, whenever I do my live real estate talks, I always add a little bit of that in there. So Bill was asking me how I'm marketing smartsmanship. And I said, well, and who my demographic was. He said, who's your customer avatar? You know, customer avatar is you visualizing an avatar, you know, an avatar that you then visualize exactly who is your customer. And I mean, down to like, is male or female? Where do they live? How old are they? What time do they get up in the morning? You just get it down to as narrow as you possibly can. He said, who's your customer avatar? And I said, well, gosh, Bill, smartsmanship, smarts would apply to anybody. Everybody wants to be smart. And he says, Greg, huge mistake. He said, yeah, maybe. Maybe everybody wants to be smart, but if you really want to take it to the next level, you will market it to various demographics, one demographic at a time. So for example, he gave me this example. He says, take for example, a college graduate. Think of this. And this is as we were walking now to get on the plane. We're walking out on the tarmac because in Aspen, you go outside to board the planes. And I remember he said, so just think of this. Think of a college graduate who's a male, who's couldn't find a job, and therefore they're broke, and they're living at home with their parents and a guy, and his girlfriend left him, and he can't find a girlfriend, and he can't afford a date. Now you think about that person. And he said, now what if you marketed smartsmanship to those people, and you said, hey, are you unemployed college graduate living with your parents who can't find a girl and can't find a job and can't even afford a date? Well, if so, smartsmanship is for you. These one-sentence thinking guides are for you. He said, every single one of them, if you talk directly to them, they would what? They would say, well, gee, I got to at least check it out, which is the whole point of marketing, to just check it out. So that was really, boy, that just bang, that hit home with me. So ever since then, I've been teaching in my real estate coaching to have specific demo. It doesn't mean you can only sell to or list one demographic, but what you should do is take your product and your compelling message and market it specifically with the messaging around it to a specific demographics at a time. So for example, let's take the 29-day fast sale plan. You could take lawyers who live, let's see, Phoenix is a big area. So Phoenix has Phoenix, Mesa, Tempe, Scottsdale. These are all huge areas in the Phoenix metropolitan area where I live in the winters. And so I could, for example, market to to attorneys who have been in practice 5 years or more. So I could craft messaging. If you're an attorney and you've been in practice 5 years or more, and you live in North Scottsdale, north of, let's say, Shea Boulevard, and you have a home that is valued at $500,000 or more, then I have an amazing program for you. I have a program I'd like to show you where I believe when it comes time to sell, I can sell your home for 5% over market. Look at how much more powerful that is. And then I would try to identify how to get to those people, which now with Facebook targeting marketing is not even hard. And I would market to those people. And can you imagine if you are an attorney in a home over $500,000 and you've been in practice over 5 years and you live in North Scottsdale, and it describes it, you're going to read the rest of the ad. And that is the point, guys. So You want to think about having a specific customer avatar. Big mistake agents make, they don't. When you speak to everyone, remember this, when you speak to everyone, nobody hears. And don't worry about specifics costing you everyone. Do worry about lack of specificity appealing to no one. And I thought you might like that slide. I think that's like a really, in one sentence, kind of just says it all. So, and then lastly, so no business mindset. And I believe this is the fourth mistake, big mistake agents make. And of course, if you have a customer avatar and you know exactly who you want to market to, and you have a product that you just love, your home selling process combined with your fee structure is just amazing. And you see the 990 opportunity was both, is both. It's both a home selling process because the owners participate in the process, and we made a big deal of the fact that would help them attract more buyers because they'd be holding their home open. They'd be appealing to all these buyers that are driving around, and the sellers could do that whenever they wanted. And so it was also a combination of a compelling fee structure, the 990 opportunity, along with an additional way to attract more buyers, so a home selling process. So if you have the home selling process, which combines a good pricing model, and you have a compelling message, and you have a customer avatar to market it to, then in my view, the last big piece of the puzzle is the business mindset. And the idea is, if you aren't working to build a business that will work without you, you're not building a business, you're just doing a trade. You're a technician. And you can't think that way. I mean, if you enjoy just selling real estate for fun and you want to be a technician, well, that's totally cool. Then just do that. That's not really the core of my coaching, is to help agents actually build a business where they're participating, they're selling probably for years, but at least it gives them the ability to sell that business at some point because it's really a business, and you can hire and train people, buyer's agents, listing partners, marketing partners, and you can take 3 months off and the business would just keep going. And I know with my companies, that's always been the case. It takes me a while to get them that way. I mean, this doesn't happen overnight, but once they're going, I surround myself with great people like Mandy, who's here. Mandy, I don't know, Mandy, we've been together 15 years, forever, since she was like way young. You surround yourself with rock star people like Mandy and like Jen and like my wife Roseanne and like my son Brian and like all these amazing people in our company that just do such a good job. You surround yourself with those people, and then you have a company that will operate without you. Now, so that is one of the big problems I think agents make, and I think they make the big mistake is what actually Michael Gerber, who wrote a book called E-Myth Revisited, calls the fatal assumption. And the fatal assumption, Michael's amazing. I did a teleconference interview with him, about a month and a half ago. Book's amazing, E-Myth Revisited. But basically the fatal assumption, I think it's the huge takeaway in the book, and that is that if you understand how to do the technical work of a business, you understand how to build a business that does that technical work. And that's not true. It's the fatal assumption. It's why entrepreneurs, why realtors fail at building a business. Maybe they're successful even at being a technician, but when they run out of energy, when they get older, when they just don't want to do it anymore, their income stops. They have nothing that's scalable, and they have nothing that's saleable. So that, of course, is what having a good product and having it priced right and having a compelling message and having customer avatars and then knowing how to scale it, there's your business. The added component is simply understanding how to then take this business that comes in and have this product so you train other people to both sell it and implement it, which you can do through the model I teach with the listing partners, marketing partners, and buyer partners. And all of a sudden you have a business that if you don't go in for a week, it's just going to keep on going where you're not the business. So I'm sure you all get that without me belaboring it. Obviously, I always have to finish by asking you guys, if there's a maverick in you, I do want to mention to you that if you are interested, I'm really excited about this. I've taken everything I've taught over the last few years, and I have developed the most disruptive competition killing, in my view, real estate model ever developed in real estate. And I teach a lot of great stuff, but I just thought over the last few months, I thought, what fun to take the absolute jewels of everything I teach and to put it into one model, one real estate model, and that is the centerpiece. And to actually make a transition in my coaching to where, if people want to learn about a lot of the things I teach, fine, but to teach one model that's just like a total, almost like a franchise, it's so good. Here it is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if you're interested in learning more about that, you would email me personally, Greg at realestatemaverics.com. I think it will blow you away. It may, FYI, it may take me a while to get back to you. Don't expect same day response on that, because it's actually where we're going to set up calls and explain, not trying to sell you anything, just explain what this model is all about, because it rocks. And then, as always, if you'd like links to our webinars, audios, and videos, you can email Jen at realestatemaverics.com. And if you'd like to see that Wall Street Journal article that I referenced earlier, you can go to realestatemaverics.com, download our non-traditional coaching brochure. And well, there it is, guys. I'm going to pop back on the screen here. Can I pop back on the screen here? Stop the share. So, hey, thank you guys for attending. Did I keep this? Gosh, I kept this only 5-6 minutes over. So you have an amazing day. Back with you again next week. And by the way, any of you who like this material, if you want to, I'll hang on after I stop the recording if you have any questions. If you like what I do on these webinars, if you haven't done it, I'd love a recommendation on LinkedIn. I'm the most recommended real estate coach on LinkedIn. Like to keep it that way. So I think probably most of you have. Terry, I know you have. But if you haven't done that and you would take 5 minutes and go into LinkedIn to my profile, recommend me, go to my Real Estate Mavericks brand. Gosh, I might do all kinds of nice things for you, because I would really appreciate that. Okay, guys, as always, I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to tell you, as I always finish the webinars, that there we go. This is Greg Hague, and I salute the Maverick in you. Bye-bye.